Pam, 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 pam. Sara, ram, ram, ram. In the air. Tam, tam, tam. Look, look, look in the air. You see it's there. The alien there. I scratch my balls. In the air. Sa, na, 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 na. San, 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 san. 7 and 7. Na, 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 na. I watch us. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Na, 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 na. Applause. Sa, na, na, na. Hello? Ta, ra, 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 ra. Sa, na, na, na. We're starting, huh? San, san, san. Thank you, thank you. How's the afternoon? How's it going? Hi, Day. How are you? How's everyone? All good? All good. Well, very good. I'm really glad this applause is for you. Hello. How's the Paranormal band doing? All good. Good afternoon to everyone. 7 in the evening. 8 minutes past 7 in Argentina. Today is January 6th. Hold on. I'm adjusting the camera. Give me a second. Oh, this is live, man. There we go. Now I'm centered. Perfect. How's it going, guys? All good? Everything good over there by... Wait, there we go. That's it. All good on TikTok. I'll greet everyone individually. I just showered after my run. My legs hurt a little, but it's my age. I already took my vitamins. I already took my supplements. It's good that I have hair because I just took a shower. And I said, let's give it a rest. Let's give the cap a rest. And let's give the hair a rest. So I didn't dry it afterwards. Anyway, I have to change to go on television, and that's when I'll do my hair. I get my quiff ready. All right, listen, let's say hello to each other and get started. You know what? Wait, first I'll say hi to the people on TikTok. Hi, Hugo Acevedo. Hi, Julian. Hi, Elba Gonzalez. Hi, TikTok people. You're joining live this afternoon. What are you all up to? Hi, Hector. I see you here in Buenos Aires, and I'm following you from the beach, Lucila Del Mar. That's great, Marcia. Hi, how are you? Hi, Laura. Hi, Manuel Soto. Hi, Nubia Perez. Hi, Noy Correa. Hi, TikTok people. How are you? All good. Spectacular. That guy makes me laugh. They're live. Hello, Solredas. Hello from Uruguay. Hello, Natalia Pistone. Hello, Rocio. Hello, Marcia. Hello, Dayi. Hello, everyone. Santiago del Estero is here. Very good. I'm going to say hi to the people on Instagram. I'm going to say hi to the people on Instagram. Give me a second. Hello, Chabela. Hello, Rodriguez Sanabria. Hello, Adri Nancy. Hello, Professor Benitez. Hello, Fer Pirata. Hello, Natalia Romero. Hello, B. Flores 94. Hello, Tabata Parisi. Hello, Beatriz Peralta. Hello, Juan Marcelo Soria. Hello, we are Chris 45. Happy Epiphany. Hello, Fernando from Salta, Argentina. Hello, Adri Nancy. Hello, Fabiana Cantaro. Hello, Paranormal crew. How are you doing on Instagram? Everything good? Greetings from Mercedes Corrientes. Hello, Fabiana. Hello, Rosie Ruedas. Hello, Rosana Fontana. Well, a lot of people on Instagram. I'm going to greet the people on YouTube. Let's see. What's up, YouTube crew? What are people saying? Benjamin Maidana says hello to Hector. Peter from Polvorines is alive and lives in my neighborhood. Very good. Hello, says Anna Petrelli. Hello, Anna. How are you? What a goddess in that profile picture. Hello, H. It's great to see you while I'm cooking a delicious shepherd's pie. Damn it, I need to eat shepherd's pie, man. That's because I don't have any. I don't have relatives nearby who cook. My mom lives pretty close, but I don't see her daily. And besides, no, I don't have any women. I don't have any women in my inner circle who cook. Well, I mean, it could be men too, you know. My comment sounded pretty sexist. I don't have people who cook in my inner circle. I said women because I was thinking of grandmothers, not in. My wife has to make me shepherd's pie if she doesn't make me shepherd's pie. You know what? No. Cacho Castaña, no, he was. It sounded kind of weird, but I meant I was imagining an older lady, like your grandma, who invited you to her house to eat shepherd's pie. But since all my grandmothers are in the afterlife, it's hard to eat shepherd's pie with my grandma. It would be complicated. Well, folks, that's how things are. Hi, Bell Rocks, how are you? It's great to get home, turn on my phone, and see you. Hector Yan, that's the way. We have to build community. You get it. We have to build a community at this time, okay? And I want to tell you something. Last night, I made my debut on Channel 26. Today, I have to go again. Bye. Not a single day. Done. That's it. No. Today, I have to go again, and we're going to try to last, But thanks to everyone who was here. It was kind of a boring show because it was all about Venezuela. I think we're gradually creating the vibe we wanted. And that's why the streaming is earlier. That's why we're doing it now. But still, last night when I got home, I missed starting the stream in the middle of the night. So today I did things differently. Because let me tell you, last night I did this. I went out for a run at 2 in the morning. I went for a run, came back, took a shower, and then I went to a Manicer Pop. Because I've been waking up late. Just imagine, with this routine, my day starts at 3:30 in the afternoon. No. Please understand, I live the opposite way. But that's because I never compromise on sleep, as you know. But I said, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to free myself at 2 in the morning to learn streaming again later. So, those who are awake at dawn, I'm not saying 2 hours. Let's do it, but I'll organize it differently. Let's try something like this. A couple of hours now. From 7 to 9. And at 2 in the morning, I turn it on again. Okay, we do 1 more hour at 2 in the morning. We keep trying different options. I'll cook you shepherd's pie, Locro. Oh, I'm leaving. I like that, huh? Give me your contact, okay? So those who are awake at 2 in the morning will go live again. All right, that's what I wanted to tell you, all right? Okay, well, all right. All right. Let's see. All right. All right. What else? All right. All right. Well, I do it better, says Carito Pass. I like it. Well, we have to do a shepherd's pie casting then. Just say I don't have time to do more things. But if I had more time to do other things that aren't, Trasnoche Paranormal and Amanes Pop. Whoa! What happened? Wait. Wait, something paranormal is happening. Wait, because this logged out. Wait. Wait a second. I knew there was something weird. Let's see now. Wait, something paranormal happened. Suddenly, I started hearing a strange noise, and it was because TikTok had logged out. Wait. Don't stress. Hold on, we're just getting started. Let's see now. Hello. Now you can hear me well, guys. Something got logged out of TikTok, and we were starting to seem like something paranormal, you know? All right, send a request if you want to go live on air. Can you hear me better now to share your stories? Okay, Hector, you still have river in your hair, right? This is my natural hair. What happens is that you guys are used to seeing me either with a cap or with my hair brushed. But like this, for television it looks messy. Plus with the beard and everything, I don't know. But I don't care, that's how I wear it in real life. Well, they're ready. They're ready to start. They're ready to go on air. Paranormal stories. I don't know how to make potato pie, but I'm the queen of kebab. What's kebab? Oh, I don't know what that is. Sorry. Tell me. I don't know what it is. You were going to say, if I had more time. If I had more time, I would like to stream other types of content, but I don't have more time. We'll be able to do it soon. But that's what I like about life. I always have new ideas for next year. I always say, well, like I never get bored because I know that if something I do doesn't work, I have other ideas. That's just how I am. Also, I'm very excited about theater. With the new play, you have no idea what you're going to see, really? No idea. All right, guys, let's go. Are you ready? Let's get started. Let's put some power into it. Good. Awesome. Excellent. Good. Awesome. Send the contact. There are many who make potato pie. I need you to write to me at Hector Locutorok. Who's inviting me to eat potato pie? What I'm saying is for real. This is for real. But the thing is, you have to live nearby. I'll get something to drink. What do you drink with shepherd's pie? Wine? No. It needs to be something nearby that doesn't require driving. I'm watching you. Stop. I'm watching you while working in Australia, Sydney, Rosita. Come on, Rosita, you rock. Give me your phone number so I can get you on channel 26. Send me your phone number privately on WhatsApp to the one I'll show on screen. I'll put you on channel 26 later. Let's coordinate another day. I live in Escobar, or so I'm told. All right, let's get started, guys. It's 7:19 in the evening. Who has a paranormal story to start with? I already have one. I already have audio. I already have text. I have everything. See, I have audio. Hold on. And we're already starting. Meanwhile, everyone is joining in. Very well. Hello, paranormal friends.
My name is Fernando, and well, coincidences don't exist.
What happened?
I'm sending you this because I was listening to this person's testimony.
Great, I already have the story and everything. I need someone live. Who wants to go live and tell me their paranormal story? 7 in the evening, 18 minutes. Hello to the afternoon streaming crew. How's it going? All good? You would be the first shift because the second shift will be at 2. What happened yesterday during the Blessed Sacrament Adoration? I didn't understand. Well, please submit your request. Go ahead, I'm waiting for someone to say, me, Hector, and then I'll connect and we'll start. Who has a good paranormal story? What was my account? A Hector Locutorok. Mendocino potato pie. Oh, that's delicious. Coming to Mar del Plata with the new play? Not for now. Later on, yes. Penny Lane, where are you from, Hector? From San Cristobal. Tabata says, I'll invite you. So I go. Is that your name, Tabata? Am I pronouncing it right? Coca-Cola with shepherd's pie. Could be. I'm watching you from Alicante. Alicia Melado is too. Send me your phone number in private and then we'll interview you for channel 26. Hello, I'm from Santa Cruz. It's too far to cook, Marcia. Well, there will be an opportunity. All right. Very good. All right, are you ready? Who's ready to go on air? Who's ready to go on air? Hi, I've followed you since 2014. How's the paranormal community doing? I'm waiting for someone to say, me, Hector. I'm from Quilmes too. It's far for you, so we're both in a tough spot. From Cusco, Peru. Hello, Rosario, welcome. You look so nice with your hair like that. You look gorgeous, says Anna. Thank you, Anna. I look younger, right? I'm serious. Some vitamins really work, but no, I'll tell you more about it later. What I'm taking for my skin and all that, well, I'm waiting for someone to say, me, Hector, I have a story. Who has a good paranormal story to start with? And from there we start and we don't stop. Tabara, great, I said and stressed it correctly. Did you see 2026? It had everything. Greetings, Diana. No, Diana from Spain. I really want to go back to Spain, but I'm gonna go in your spring. I'm gonna go for Holy Week. My first trip of the year will be Holy Week in Malaga. I want to spend Holy Week in Malaga, a couple of days in Madrid, a couple of days in Malaga. Hello, Hector. Greetings from Pergamino. Long live the paranormal. Very good, Canary Islands. That's great. Hello, Looper. It's 23. Hello, Marisol. Carito, you asked me where I live. I live in Buenos Aires, in the capital. Yes, Madrid is beautiful, but I already went in winter. I want to go in spring, which is our autumn. Well, okay, on TikTok, there's no one who has a story. Hello, Marbella Candy Ross. Everyone who is abroad, please write to the WhatsApp number I'm about to give. I'd like to add you to my contacts. Greetings, Resistance. Come on, we're starting, come on, Guacho, come on. Who says I have a story, Hector? I'm waiting for someone on Instagram to say, I have a story to tell, but no one does. I already have one to begin with, right? But I want to start with someone live. Greetings from Bella Vista, Corrientes, go Bebana. Do you remember Bebana? Beautiful Malaga. I don't know it last time I told you about the stubborn soul. Yes, I remember. I'm waiting for someone to tell me, I, Hector, have a story. I, Hector, have a story. Burgos, well, really good drinking, mate, says Sylvia. Very well, Sylvia says. Start with the show. No, but I want to start like this. I want to start with a live story. And then I'll take over, then leave it to me, because I already know how to do it. Hector, I wrote you an email. Well, greetings, Merlot. Anyone up for it? We share live stories which people enjoy. Who has a live paranormal story to tell us? Hey, it looks fine on TikTok. It looks kind of, the lens looks dirty. No. I get the impression that the lens is dirty. It looks kind of weird. It doesn't look good. It looks blurry. On YouTube, it looks fine. Super cool, they say. It looks blurry. It looks weird. Let me check if I have something to clean it. Hold on, I have to... Hold on. I have to do something. Wait. I'm here. Let's see if I can clean this. Wait. Let's see if it looks better. No. Mwah, this kiss is for you all. Can you imagine if my teeth were as white as they look on TikTok? The teeth thing is a filter, and everything else also has a little filter here on TikTok, but look how good it looks. It's just a filter. You can still whiten them like that though. The thing is, you have to keep your mouth open for like 2 hours with the device and it starts to bother me. It's like, way too uncomfortable. All right, hey, come on. Who's live? Say, Hector, who's live so I can open it? Who's live so I can open it? Hello, Laboriano. Hello, Ituzango. Tell us, Hector, what do I need, that thing you're drinking? I'll tell you later, but not here because it's kind of irresponsible. Start the show. Come on, man. I need someone to say to me, Hector. No stories. Oh, guys, you're so lazy. I don't want to start alone. I want to live with someone. Who's live? So they can say, me, Hector? I say Maria Celeste. Very good. That's a relief. Oh, but your account is private. You have to send me a request. Tap the little icons down there. I can't invite people with private TikTok accounts. I have one, but I'm on the bus. Send it anyway, Moni. All right, send it anyway, Mecha. You don't have headphones connected to the phone and talk to me through the earpiece kind of on the sly like you're talking to a friend. Let's see, there are already people here. Hold on, I'm going with C. Let's see this person's name, C Sublimados. I think that's it. I'm coming for myself too. How are you? Hi, what's your name?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. What's your name?
My name is Tatiana.
Tatiana, and do you have a story?
Yes, I actually have several, but one that happened to me.
Wait, let me start with you. Give me 30 seconds and I'll greet you again so we can talk. All right, hold on. Remember that I'm going to greet you as if it were nighttime. I'm going to say good evening to you, okay? Greet me with good evening too. Hey everyone. Paranormal weather, let's get started. 1 minute, hold on for 30 seconds and we'll start with you. Can you repeat your name for me? What was your name again?
Tatiana.
Tatiana, I'm going to write it down. Tatiana, give me 30 seconds and we'll start.
From this moment on, a portal to the supernatural world opens. Everything narrated by the protagonists of the stories can be a subject of debate. We don't judge the testimonies. We listen to them and analyze hypotheses. The esoteric and spiritual world is very subjective. This is a space designed for us to explore it together. Paranormal Late Night recommends that in the event of any inexplicable occurrence, you first consult a mental health professional. Discretion is advised.
All right, folks, it's 7:26 in the evening. We're officially starting our ritual, in this case, the evening stream. I'm going to say hello to Tatiana, who's live with us. Hi, Tatiana. How are you? Good evening.
Hi, Hector. Good evening.
Welcome. Where are you from?
I'm from here, Buenos Aires, San Martin.
We talked before the show and you said you have many stories, but you picked one to start. We're listening.
Yes, I have one that happened to me recently. I work as a housekeeper, and I have an employer who, about a year ago, lost her brother. And right that week when her brother passed away, she cremates him and goes on vacation. So she says to me, "Can you take care of the cat and the dog for me?" I said, yes, I agreed. She gave me the keys. I stayed. I would go in the afternoon. To feed the cat, I would stay for 2 hours, 3 at most, and that's it. And then she tells me, "I've already cremated my brother. I'm at peace. So I'll leave him here at home and
Hey!
I...
Sorry, I'll just leave it here at home. It's the urn.
Of course. Okay." And then I was stunned. I never told her I was scared or that this was happening, and she didn't say anything except, "No, don't worry, nothing's wrong." Well, that's it. She left. The week, she left for a week. On the last day, I would go for 2 hours, 3. I opened the door, I fed the cat, I stayed for a while, and then I left. The last day I stayed just to complete the week. I go into her room, which is where the urn was. And I start watching television like that on the bed, not lying down, but I sit on the edge. And the windows were open and a strong, strong wind came in. But it was a wind that opened the closet doors. And I got scared because there was no rain forecast or anything. So I got scared and I got up to close it. The first thing I did was to close that closet. And I pretended nothing happened. I just kept watching television like this, and the door started to open slowly.
Oh, God.
By the way, the closet didn't have a lock or anything. Now he put one on, but before it didn't have one. So I figured the doors opened just because they didn't have a lock. So, well, at that point, I got really scared. I got up, turned off the television. I left. And actually, nothing really happened to me. He didn't show up or anything. But then I came home scared. I stayed here thinking about what had happened, and I got a call from my boss.
What's that noise?
And she says to me, "Nothing, it's because I'm sublimating, so the machine is running."
Okay.
So nothing really happened to me, but I was scared out of my mind. And I come home, and an hour later, she calls me. I get a call from her. And she says to me, "Hi, Tatiana, did you set the alarm? Is everything okay, just in case?" I tell her yes, or no, because someone just broke into the house. And the brother's urn is on the bed, right at the spot where I was sitting.
Yes.
So the thieves broke in to steal. And when they opened that closet, they grabbed it, opened it, realized what it was, put it at the foot of the bed, and left. And they left.
Yes.
I figured all of this would be around here. The brothers seemed to be warning me that something would happen to me, you know? Because it was those 2 minutes I was gone.
Right.
These guys showed up and ruined everything. That's why I want to clarify that. I don't know if it's something unusual because the brother didn't show up or anything, but for me it was like a sign.
Of course.
That indicated I had to leave. And there, I don't know if it happens or not. Honestly, it happened to me. And for me, it was a sign.
Yes, I also see it as a sign, in fact, like you said, and it's good the way you explained it, Tatiana, that sometimes we're waiting, conditioned by artificial intelligence or movies, for something more cinematic to happen, like a spirit appearing, but that's not how the paranormal world works. It's, as we always say, much more subtle but inexplicable, like what you're describing. Yes, obviously it protected you.
That's what I think it was. I met her brother for a year, and I knew he had illnesses and everything, but nothing else. I never spoke with him because he was sick. So it was like the wind opened up so strong that it came toward me, that I pretended not to notice and closed up automatically. But then when I saw again that it wanted to open up, I left. For me, it felt like a sign to leave since these guys were coming in. And maybe something might have happened to me, but it felt like it protected me.
You know what? Yes, and we're going to talk about that, about the ashes of the deceased. Sending you a big kiss. Thank you, Che, for being with us.
Thank you. I always listen to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, thank you, Tatiana. With Tatiana, we start. How are you? How's it going? Welcome, everyone. And she gives us a great lead-in to talk about this topic. Having the ashes of deceased loved ones in our home. How many people who are now listening to our program have in their home the ashes of their loved one or loved ones? Why do I say the ashes or ashes? Because maybe there are several. I also include animals in this, okay? But it would give the impression that ashes from human corpses is a little bit more disturbing. Above all, because we know, except for rare exceptions, that the ashes they give you, it's very unlikely that they are, specifically and only, of your loved one. So, I mean, are we bringing residual energy from who knows who into our home? What is the connection point between paranormal phenomena and ashes in our house? There is a hypothesis called earthly anchoring, a widely discussed theory in Spiritism and in classical parapsychology. It is believed that the spirit of the person who died maintains an energetic bond with their own physical remains, even if they are ashes. When someone keeps the urn in the everyday environment of the living, it sends a signal to the spirit that they still belong here. The consequence, the soul could delay its passage to the next plane, to the light. And a state of spiritual attachment appears there. How does it manifest? Poltergeists, light objects that move, unexplained noises, or the feeling of constantly being watched. The spirit does not rest and wanders around the house. There's also a theory linked to feng shui and dowsing. The theory of yin energy. This focuses more on energies than ghosts, but it's essential to analyze the case of infested homes. Human remains radiate an energy: inert, cold, static, extreme yin energy. The house of the living needs the opposite, yang energy: active, warm, vital. Having such a strong concentration of death energies in a vital place like your own bedroom creates an imbalance. Not necessarily ghosts, but rather chronic fatigue in its inhabitants, economic bad luck, frequent arguments, insomnia, and a feeling of heaviness in the environment. Does that sound familiar to you? There are some slightly darker theories. Demonology talks about the ashes being a portal for the lower astral. The urn not only holds the deceased, but also acts as an energy magnet. Death leaves a specific vibrational trace. Entities that are not from the deceased relative, astral larvae, shadows, opportunistic spirits, may be attracted by that vibration of death and use this urn precisely as an anchor point to enter the home. And you will have recurring nightmares. You'll see shadows out of the corner of your eye, shadow people, and sudden changes in temperature around the urn. The egregore hypothesis. The phenomenon doesn't come from the urn, but from the minds of the living, the intense grief. The constant focus on the urn, because tell me if it's not like that, those who have urns at home, they talk to it, they cry to it, they fill the object with a strange emotional energy. All of that creates an egregore. The living create a ghost with their own psychic energy projected onto the urn. This is very common. Not all hypotheses are negative, some are positive, especially those that arise from ancient witchcraft. The ashes are sacred. If they are treated with specific rituals of respect and not with painful attachment, they turn the deceased into a guardian of the lineage. For this, the spirit must have crossed over, and the ashes are just a point of connection, and not a prison. You shouldn't keep the ashes in bedrooms. Avoid intimate places. Don't place them on appliances. And keep them for a while. A year at most, and then release them, bury them or scatter them, but to complete the cycle of life. There are real cases where ashes cause phenomena, but of course, and there's a very well-known one in our country. Do you remember Emilia T.S., the actress? She said that in her mother's house, after a renovation, paranormal phenomena started to happen, the most disturbing. Photo taken during renovation shows a little boy appearing in the image. The chilling part was the expression, not the apparition. The ghost boy was pointing directly at a specific shelf. On that shelf rested the urn with the ashes of Emilia's grandmother. The restless family? They called a sensitive person to cleanse the house. They used a pendulum. It moved violently right in the area of the ashes, confirming a concentration of energy there. The ashes weren't just holding the grandmother back, but also, they worked like a magnet for this little boy. John Cephas, a famous demonologist and nephew of Ed and Lorraine Warren, specialized in haunted objects, also has his own story. One of the cases he investigated, part of his personal archive, reports the story of a family who experienced aggressive poltergeist activity, bangs on the walls, shadows crossing the hallway, and a feeling of hatred throughout the house. Cephas and his team scanned the house with electromagnetic field meters. The highest reading didn't come from a room in general, but from a particular closet. Inside the closet, hidden behind boxes, they found a forgotten urn from a distant relative which the homeowner stored temporarily and then forgot. The living reported hearing whispers that came from that closet. The spirit was angry because of being forgotten and disrespected. As soon as the urn was removed from the house and given a Christian burial, the paranormal activity ceased that very night. What do you guys think? Do you have ashes of loved ones at home? You're right, Karen. I should bury the ashes of the dogs. My grandmother is gone now and all the pets are in my mom's garden. I should bury them there. Exactly, they tell me. I'm certain that we must make the final circle by burying the ashes or not keeping them at home. He says it's also not advisable to divide them among family members, creating tarot realities. My friend has her grandmother's ashes in the closet for years, says Mumi Del Valle. Well, real stories. Good afternoon to all the paranormal folks and good evening to you, thank you. I have to sleep alone, I'm getting scared, says Campanita. Hector, everything you say is true. It happened at my son's house. My aunt has my grandmother's ashes from the... No! Yes, my aunt has my grandmother's ashes from her husband who passed away a year ago, and she wanted my dad's ashes. I don't like having anyone's ashes, no matter how much I love the person, says Anna. Exactly, Hector, that's what I'm hearing here. I have my mom with me in my room. We have to appreciate the warning sign. I'm reading comments, huh? Did you know that in the vast majority of urns, it's communal ashes, meaning ashes that come from several daily cremations of bodies? Yes, we knew that. I was at the Chacarita cemetery and I confirmed it. Thank you, people! So many stories. So many testimonies. And what do you do or what would you do? With the ashes of your loved ones, did you experience any paranormal phenomena? You can leave your stories in the YouTube comments. But you can also send them to me by email at trasnocheparanormal@gmail.com. trasnocheparanormal@gmail.com and on the Paranormal WhatsApp 11 2784 1073 11 2784 1073. Ashes of the deceased in the paranormal night. I hope you liked the topic that came up. You probably noticed how the show is. They make a request. Those who have paranormal stories. All right, Maria, I'll go with you to see if we can talk now. Hello, hello? Good, good. Well, let's see, Club. I'm coming with you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, hello, Club. What's your name?
Loli, I'm Loli.
Loli.
The same old Loli.
How are you? I'll go with you and greet you as if it were nighttime, okay?
Okay?
All right, don't hang up. I'm going to say hi to Loli, who's live with us. Hi, Loli. How are you? Good evening.
Hi, Hector. Good evening and good evening to everyone.
Welcome.
I was listening carefully to what you were saying, And a few days ago, something weird happened to me. Well, actually, that's not true. It was yesterday. My dad, as I always tell you, is about to pass away very soon. It's been almost a year now. And just now, listening to what you were saying, I said I wouldn't tell Hector yet. I'll wait because there must be a reason. And you always say to wait for signs.
Yes.
I got a message on my phone that my dad had sent me a message on Messenger. My dad is dead.
Of course.
And I have the ashes at home. So now listening to you, I understand that maybe what he wants is for me to let him go.
In that message, since it came through Facebook Messenger, let's say.
Yes, I got a notification that I had a message from my dad.
Really strange.
Yes, and nobody uses my dad's account.
But was there a message or did the notification come in? And when you tried to read it, you saw that sometimes it doesn't let you read.
No, I opened Messenger, tapped the notification, and it opened his Messenger directly for me. That's really weird too, because those things don't happen. I got desperate because I thought the people who still have him on Facebook are going to think that he's online and they're going to get scared. I started tapping everything until I was able to log out of that Messenger, which I don't even know how it opened. There was no message. I went into my Messenger, there was no message. Nothing. It was just a notification that I took a screenshot of. But now I understand with what you're explaining that maybe Dad wants me to leave him now.
I think that, yes, exactly. Two things at the same time. I think that probably you have to let go. It's the hardest thing in life because it doesn't mean forgetting. It means letting go of the physical attachment to the remains, to things, right? And changing love into something else. Then, what you're saying is one of the main ways in which the loved ones who went ahead of us show their sign, their wink, messages that come like that, or from WhatsApp or from the Facebook account, messages that are impossible to explain. Who sent them? It's not a mistake, you see?
Yes, exactly. It's just that no, it doesn't make sense because no one manages my dad's accounts. They were my dad's. And getting that honestly left me it scared me at the moment, and then I always hear your voice in my head saying, it's a sign, wait, you'll understand it soon. You brought this up today, and I don't think it's a coincidence. At least that's how I see it.
Can I ask something?
Not to make a mistake.
So you know how Paranormal Late Night works? Some really crazy things happen on this show. I had prepared that report to do it today, the one about the ashes of the deceased. And people won't let me lie. We don't know what the person who's going on air is gonna say. I mean, it's not like we put someone on air who was just going to talk about that topic. In fact, before the show, I start streaming and invite people to share their stories. And the first story had to do with that topic. I mean, I had that report prepared to do later in today's same show. But at the end, I moved it up because it seemed to me that it wasn't a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences.
Not exactly. I totally agree with what you're saying, and I also feel that it happened that way because it was meant to be, and in some way, somehow my dad must know I keep following you. I'm intense, and he said, well, this is going to be the way to tell him that. Just leave me alone, woman.
Of course.
Just leave me alone, daughter.
Of course. Hey, well, that's a great sign. So today I'm sending you a big kiss.
Another kiss, Hector, a hug.
Thank you, bye-bye. Just as I'm telling you, that's how it happened, eh? The first call wasn't planned with everything he wanted. We had no idea he was going to tell it like that, so it's great. That's what happens on this show. Mariana tells me I have something to say about the ashes. Well, join in, Mariana. We'll talk to you there. To talk live, 11 27 84 1073. And you can email me. Don't forget to send stories. Hey, we love reading them. To the email, trasnocheparanormal@gmail.com. trasnocheparanormal@gmail.com. Mariana, are you there? How are you doing?
Hi, how are you, Hector? How are you doing?
All good. Do you have anything to share about this topic?
Yes, I have one for you. It's not something that happened to me, but to a lady's son, someone I know.
Let's see.
This lady's son used to work at the beach as a lifeguard. He also had a co-worker who worked with him. This co-worker passed away. And they had him cremated. It was during the winter season when at that time the other guy wasn't going to work at the beach. And when the season started, it turns out that this guy had asked for his ashes to be scattered in the sea. And surely, the guy probably started swimming when he arrived to train a little like that. And suddenly he sees something dark floating towards him. He grabs it. It was like a box, and it was the box with the ashes. Because the relatives, instead of scattering the ashes, threw everything in.
Everything.
The whole thing with the box, and he read the name of the friend. He got a feeling that came out of the water and decided it was better not to work anymore. At the bathhouse, he was very impressed because some time had passed since they had thrown her in, and just when he went, he arrives while she's swimming as she goes a little further into the sea, and that was floating in the sea, and it reaches him, hits him, he grabs it, and it had his friend's name written on it.
What a message, huh? What will happen? What will he have to interpret beyond the impression, what his friend is trying to say or wanted to say to him, right?
Of course, that's why he was so impressed. And he didn't finish the season, he came back.
That's incredible.
I mean, it really had a big impact on him.
Paranormal stories.
Because he has another job, it's just that he did that in the summer, the lifeguard job.
As a lifeguard, of course. Thank you for telling us this story. I send you a kiss.
Another kiss for you, Hector.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Good night. Folks, things got tough, huh? And the number of signs they give, the departed with their ashes, with their remains, they know how to connect with us. Hey, Hector, how are you? I'm Nico from Avellaneda. I used to be a police officer and now I'm retired. I wanted to tell you about two things that happened to me and that still linger in my mind to this day. The first one was in 2001. I was 22 years old and I had to do guard duty at the Central Bank of the Argentine Republic near the Casa Rosada, in the Plaza de Mayo area. At night, that place is something else. Total silence. Huge hallways, dark offices, and a strange feeling. Like you're not alone even though you don't see anyone. On several early mornings, I started hearing a sound that didn't fit with anything. It was like the typing of an old typewriter, one of those heavy ones with that fast metallic rhythm. It wasn't a computer keyboard, it was a really dry clack, like someone was typing forcefully. The most unsettling thing was this: when I walked toward where the noise was coming from, the sound would stop. But it wasn't that it faded away, it just cut off. And as soon as I moved a few meters away, I heard it again behind me to the side as if the noise was dodging me. I tried several times on different nights and it was always the same. And there was no one. The place was truly empty, no staff, no movement. Nothing that could explain that typing sound. When I mentioned it, some colleagues told me that it wasn't a typewriter, that it was as if they were cash registers. Sometimes you could hear it linger in the air and they didn't know why. But I heard it, of course. For me, they were typing sounds. And on top of that, they added something worse. They told me that on the 4th floor, where the wooden floor lets you feel each footstep, sometimes you can see a police officer in an old uniform, not a current one, but a historical one, the kind that looks like it's from another era. They see him walking straight like in a parade, crossing the area with firm steps, and if you try to approach or talk to him, he disappears. He doesn't walk away. He disappears as if the image just turns off. And the second thing I wanted to tell you was in 2006, in a classroom where we were taking a promotion course, chatting with a colleague, one of those old school cops, old-fashioned, he told me something that gave me chills. He told me he had been working an extra shift at La Chacarita Cemetery at night. Regular guards, walking through the hallways, making sure there aren't any suspicious movements. At one point, in a pretty dark area, he ran into several guys, not just a few. He said they acted like nothing was happening. Like it was normal to see kids in a cemetery at that hour. And one of those kids said a phrase to him, staring straight at him. "You shouldn't be in this place." My partner froze. He didn't know how to answer. And when he wanted to react and move forward, those guys disappeared into the night. It's not that they ran away, they just vanished from sight, as if the darkness had swallowed them up. That phrase stuck with me because out of curiosity and fear also, I got home and started searching the internet in forums and blogs about paranormal topics and found stories from different countries where people were telling the same thing. Guys, in cemeteries, who come up to you and they tell you that exact phrase or something very similar, as if it were always the same. As if it were something that repeats everywhere. Since that day, I swear to you, there are places where I don't feel at ease. Not because of your management, because there are nights when silence isn't really silence, and when a place is empty. Sometimes that doesn't mean it's alone. Hector, thanks for reading me. I'm sending you a big hug. This story is real. Not how we started, no. Lore, I'm coming with you. Good stories, not kids. How's it going, guys? An hour has already passed. It's 7:57 in the evening. Time flies. Hello, Lore, can you hear me? Lore. Well. Sorry. Let's see who else is out there. Let's see, Paula. Paula, are you there?
Hello?
Yes.
I am.
Do you have a story?
I talked to you?
Wait, listen. Do you have a story? That's what I asked.
Yes, I do.
Okay, I'm going to greet you and...
Let's see.
Wait, because if not, we won't be able to understand each other. What do you want to tell me that you talked to me, and what did you say to me?
One time I talked to you. When my daughter passed away.
Okay.
It had been less time. It's been 3 years now. And I spoke to you very distressed, and I told you about the signs my daughter was showing.
Okay.
At my house, it was like she was with me.
I remember.
It was like a television by myself.
I remember your story.
Do you remember?
But wait, tell me like that and go on air. Hold on, I'll greet you again in a second. All right, I'll greet Paula, and we know it's going to be a strong story. From what she's going to tell us, I was just able to talk to her for 10 seconds off the air. Paula, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome. Tell me again what you were just telling me off the air so people listening to Pop can hear you.
About, I think, a year ago, my daughter passed away. She left very suddenly because it was her own decision. And that hurts even more because it leaves you with guilt. It leaves you with a lot of things that, in this loneliness. And I talked to you one day when I was very distressed. And I told you about the signs she was giving me. While I was really down, I was underground. I was buried alive, and my daughter would turn on the television. She would say to me, I'm in the record, you know, like in the movies. I'm connected to the family network. I would hear noises in the kitchen. All those things, it made me, I saw her light on the wall next to my bed in the early morning when I couldn't take it anymore. While I was telling you all this, so distressed, then you played another audio of mine that I listened to it, but I couldn't reach out anymore because I didn't know what to do, because a voice appeared saying, that's enough. And you put him on the air again. I don't think you remember.
I don't remember, but just to reconfirm, I spoke with you live and there was also an audio message you sent to WhatsApp, or was that just a replay of the on-air recording?
No, I spoke with you on air. And then you played another one saying Paula Solis got in touch with us. And in the background you can hear a noise, a sound, a voice. And the voice said, "That's enough." And you were telling me, what could it mean? I heard it. It was my daughter's voice saying, "That's enough." And it was the way my daughter spoke.
Of course.
"That's enough already."
Of course.
And he was telling me to stop. Stop everything you're saying. Stop suffering. Stop mentioning me.
Enough of the pain, really. I know it's hard.
I think if you look for it,
Now I remembered.
I don't know if you should have it.
I don't have it right now since the file isn't here, but it's on the hard drives. I remember your story perfectly because I felt the same way I'm about to share now. I think I even said that on air. I felt like your daughter was asking you, stop seeing me from the pain and start seeing me with gratitude for having been in your life. I don't know if I told you that, but I probably went in that direction.
Yes, and you went out and played it several times. And it was her. Enough already. Even her sister, I played it for her sister and she said, "It's Ari." Today I went to the cemetery. That's why it's incredible that you're talking about this. Look, the first time I went to the cemetery, I was completely stunned. And anyone who has ever been to the Chacarita cemetery knows that if you don't have the address of the place where they are,
You get lost.
it's impossible to find it. I was so anxious, so upset that I talked to her. I said, "Ari, make me find you. Tell me where you are, Mamu. Don't make me leave without seeing you, without giving you this plant I brought for you." On the way, I find a stone with the number 25. The 25th is the day she left.
First sign.
I grabbed the stone and I said, "I can't believe it." The first sign, and it made me feel like, "You're going to find me, Mom," because
Of course.
I went to the cemetery feeling brave, because one day I went out for a walk on the street and disoriented. I don't know how I got there. I ended up at the Chacarita wall. It rained about 30 blocks from Chacarita. And there was a voice inside me that said, "There's a place for you to sit," because I couldn't take it anymore. When I look at where the place to sit was, I can't explain how I got there. At 3 a.m. at the wall of Chacarita. And she made me feel like she wanted me to come in, because until that moment I couldn't go in.
Of course.
I bought a plant and took it to her. I think I gathered the courage after about 3 days. And I asked the caregivers, I told them, me like a crazy woman crying. Like a crazy woman, I asked them, "Where can I find her?" And they told me, "If you don't have the address, it's completely impossible to find her here." And that day I found her. I told her I'm going to find her. She said, "No, without the address, you can't find her." And I found her. She guided me to the place where she was. It's impossible. I went again today with the address and I took the wrong way, but I was accompanied and that person took care of finding the address. And I told them, "Can you believe that I came here without the address?" And I asked her, "Daughter, help me find you." And she guided me to where she was. And I think there are a few people, the people who went to the place, know that it's impossible to find a place when you don't have the address. And I found it. I was able to put the flower on it. I was able to put the number I found along the way during that journey when I didn't know where to go. I put it next to the flower. And today I was there thinking they were going to take it away from me. I was afraid they would take it, and it was still there on the 25th. Today, more than anything going in that direction, I realized it was impossible for me to find it now, especially now that I'm more in my right mind. And I realized it was a sign that she spoke to me. She told me to come in. Come and bring it to me first that night. And regarding the children you mentioned, my daughter, when she was little, the one who died, as I said, Sometimes I would be walking on the sidewalk across the street when I had to go somewhere, and I would walk along the cemetery walls. And she would say to me, "Mommy, up there on those walls there are boys sitting dressed from different eras?" And I would say to her, "Yes." "And what are they doing, Ari?" I ask her. She says, "Nothing, they're just watching us." I mean, it's something that gives you the confidence that they happen and that they're there. And when you have such a deep pain, it's very hard to convince yourself. When I hear all these things and they happen to me, the way I told you they happened to me, and the way you heard in your audio, who told me that's enough? That was his voice, Hector. And those were his words, because besides the fact that that's enough was hers. When she was, there were things that said enough already, and it was her.
Even the way she spoke.
The way she spoke and her voice.
And the voice, you confirmed it for me with your other daughter who recognized her, even the way she spoke.
And I did too. But I couldn't talk to you. You told me, if you're out there, I hope this is a sign.
I just remembered that.
You used to tell me. Did you hear it? I don't know how, because when I spoke to you on the air, the voice wasn't heard.
Of course.
You heard it later and played it on the air.
Because I want to tell you first, we are all here, all of us. I'm going to include myself and the entire paranormal community and all the listeners of La Pop. We all embrace you, your family. Feel embraced, because everyone is sending you their best vibes. Stay strong. Look, I'll read you a couple of messages. Celeste, stay strong. Celeste says to you, without a doubt, your daughter guided you. Don't be sad, she's present, even if you can't see her. That's what they want to show us. I think exactly the same. No, I think that our loved ones who went ahead. First, we shouldn't feel like we're never going to see them again. That's not true. Because they just went ahead on a journey that we're going to take too, right? So I say there's going to be a reunion. Of course there's going to be a reunion. But they ask that we who are still in this world live remembering them but not suffering. No, I think that's enough. It's enough of crying, Mom. Enough of suffering. Here I am, I'm still here, but they can't give us an explicit sign, but look at all the signs. And the psychophony, which besides the psychophony, maybe for people who aren't into the paranormal, it's crazy or it's something extraordinary. But I'm telling you, Paula, and to the people listening to us, instrumental transcommunication is a very common practice now all over the world. Where there are people in Argentina, there's a group. They get together once a month to talk to their loved ones through transcommunication sessions, which basically means recording white noise, asking questions, and listening to the recording. Now I remember. Why didn't we hear it live? And why did it show up on the recording? I also remember what happened. Because sometimes the broadcast goes through a process from the transmitter plant. Which is not the same as what I hear live in the headphones, because we are in a stage before the broadcast. Now, when the show goes on air, goes on air analogically through frequency modulation transmission. That's where the frequencies of the disembodied appear, and I don't hear it live, but later, when we check the reference tape, the on-air recording, that's when it shows up. I remember well.
Honestly, I don't know how you noticed.
It's not that I didn't notice when we were on air. I remember what happened. I was talking to you and a lot of people started asking me, did you hear that, Hector?
Yes, and people were telling you and people heard it.
Of course, because...
No, me neither.
The one who was listening over the air heard it live. But for us who are connected, it's something technical to explain, but it's like we're in a stage before the broadcast. We didn't hear it, but the person listening on air did. That's why we had to get the broadcast recording. In the end, your daughter revealed herself.
Regarding what you said about them communicating, I was able to communicate with her. Because during those first months, the pain was so overwhelming. I went to a place. I went to a good place which was recommended to me by the group Renasa from a lady. And she told me that when the time comes, she will come looking for me. It's true what you say that...
Of course.
We're going to see each other again.
And sorry, I'll keep listening to you. So, what it means that they come to get us is that when our time comes, we don't have to do anything to pass away. No, I want to make it clear. When our time comes, they come to get us. They make that transition.
If you happen to find the tape where she speaks, if you want to play it again, because I'm speaking to all the mothers who have gone through this, and I think that it's not for nothing, but the pain of a mother who loses a child, I mean, you already lose your ego.
Of course.
And you lose a lot of things you used to be, and now you're someone else. So if any mom is listening to me, since you brought up this topic for a reason, today when I went to see her, everything that happened to me happened for a reason. If any mom is listening to me, I want to tell you that I managed to move forward a little because of the signs that she herself gave me. I have woken up and seen lights all over my room with images, perfect circles that embrace me. They were lights and I wondered, where do they come from? Because everything is dark. And sometimes, I'm telling you so I don't forget it.
Of course.
So it stays with me. And once I turned over in bed, I don't know if I told you about that day, I saw an image that was like a Mercury type light. It was a light that moved, but it didn't leave the axis where it was. I touch it and say, what is this? Where is it coming from? I turn around to see where it's coming from. And when I look back at the light again, it was already gone. I mean, if there are signs, those are it.
Of course.
And those are the ones that told me, Mom, I'm here. But with all the anxiety you have at that moment, it's like you don't really interpret them, You interpret them later.
Of course, it's hard.
Then when the time comes, like you just said, you start interpreting them. And today when I went to the cemetery, already accompanied, today all the times I went alone, and I saw how in the place where she was and how I found her blindly. Today I went with the address because I went the wrong way, and the person who was with me said, wait, I'll go ask. And I told her, but I came, I found her without direction. Today I was also going blindly, and I went somewhere else, totally different. And today I realized...
What is the dog barking at? Sorry, what is the dog barking at?
I don't know what the dog is barking at.
While you were telling the story, it was growling. I was hearing that it was growling, right?
Yes.
And now this is your daughter. I mean, there's no doubt she's manifesting right now while you're talking to her. She's there because the little dogs, detect it, and they react however they can. The dog is showing you. The dog that's alive, that's in this world, is showing you that she's there. There's really no explanation. You understand that it's fair.
That it turned out. On your show. It was amazing, Hector. Everyone was asking me my address. Everyone was saying, Paula Solis, what number is it? I didn't even dare to tell him the number so they wouldn't think I wanted to. Followers, or that I wanted them to talk to me or something like that. That's how I said it. And today, after so many days, I have the strength to talk to you because today I went to see her and I realized that it was truly impossible for me to find the place where my daughter was. If she wasn't guiding me, it would have been completely impossible. And today I was convinced that the sign that she gave me and the number I found along the way, as if saying, don't go, you're going to find me. It was a sign to everyone who is suffering, to the moms who are suffering. Know that your baby is right beside you. And it's very heartbreaking too. to see them like that, in that condition. I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, the signs, because they're such clear signs that leave you just like this, here alone without her, you know?
Of course.
But they're there.
That's what...
And they give me strength, and little by little I start holding on to that.
Of course.
And little by little, I'm getting hooked on that.
This is what I was going to tell you. It takes time, grieving takes time. But those signs have to serve as if they were ropes that your daughter is throwing to you so you can get out of the pit, out of that pit of pain. Because what? The place you need to reach is a point where obviously you will have your daughter present every day in a different way. As Drexler says, everything transforms, you know, like that phrase and that song that's so beautiful. I encourage you to look it up later. Jorge Drexler, Everything Transforms. You're going to love it. Because it's related to that. Love and your daughter's presence. Today it's in a different way. And you have to reconnect with your life. With yourself, with giving yourself the chance to smile again, to do things for yourself again, to rediscover yourself as a person, as a woman, yourself with what makes you feel good. And in all those moments when you smile again, your daughter will be there too, smiling with you. That's the message they give us. It's instead of us being alive, we die with them or we fade away. They're actually the ones accompanying us and will continue to do so throughout our physical lives. Until we meet again. But what your daughter is telling you, from the enough already to the dog just barking, is, Mom, get out of there, stop crying, I'm still with you in another way. Until someone tells you, since I haven't lost children because I never had any, but I have lost loved ones. Until you stop crying? No, your vision is clouded, you know. Crying clouds your vision. When you stop crying, you start to see the person who passed away in a different way, but who is still present in another form. I think your daughter is asking you for that.
Today I realized that what I did was crazy. To grab a plant. From my house, I bought it across the street. To go blindly to the cemetery walking. And thinking I would find her. It was crazy.
But it was a certainty.
And today I realized that, yes, he guided me. Yes, he guided me because I couldn't find her myself. And on your show, she spoke.
Of course.
She said, enough already. But I still couldn't speak. I couldn't go on with this. And I couldn't reach out to you until just now, and you were asking me to get in touch. You were saying Paula Solis, and if you're out there, I don't know what to say to you, but listen to this. And everyone, they said they had heard her, except for me.
Of course.
And you realized it. So if we're talking about signs and ashes and all that, it's true. It's true. They give us, they communicate with us, they find a way. Me walking at night, I think I told you about that. When I couldn't take it anymore, when I think my niece would buckle on the sidewalk alone in the early morning crying. Because I told him, Ari, if you're not here, I won't be able to go on. Help me, because I won't be able to go on. And the security cameras started to emit a light. Like kind of white. You can't imagine how white and how different the light was. And they started to flicker, and I said, don't you see it? With the desperation you feel in that moment. You don't understand it.
Of course.
You can't believe it, you know. Afterwards, later as time goes by and you start saying, interpreting the signs, those signs stay with you. And it's like they give you a strength so you can say, yes, he communicated, you know, because at that moment you're so overwhelmed that you're not even able to see it.
Paula!
That's a lot.
I want to thank you for... First, I know it's not a coincidence that today, when we're talking about these topics, you went to the cemetery and you were live to talk. Everything has to do with the same signs they give us. And I hope you can keep listening to the show more often to reconnect with so many people who can, in the best sense, teach you to get out completely of that place and go through the pain in a different way. That you also allow yourself to smile again because you deserve it.
Look, Hector, I came back from the cemetery exhausted, with a terrible fatigue, with a fatigue that you can't even imagine. I took a pill and I fell asleep. I don't know if I was half asleep or fully asleep. I don't know. Until just now, I woke up and something told me to grab my phone. And I didn't want to grab my phone because there are TikTok voices, everything that bothers me right now, and everything that's happening. And so I saw it next to my nightstand. I grabbed my phone and the first thing that popped up was you. And you were just talking about these stories. That's why I said it's time to talk to him, because I think I needed to finish what happened on your show. I needed to talk and I needed to tell the audience and thank them for listening to that voice. Because if everyone hadn't listened to that voice, I would have gone unnoticed. It would have stayed and we would have never heard it. You had the clarity to grab it and put it on the air, and I heard it.
Thank you very much, Che, for telling us all this. I ask you not to disappear, to stay attentive, to keep connecting with us, to write to us, because we also want to hear from you, and I'm sure that every time we talk, you'll get a bit better.
To the moms who are going through something like this, to the moms who lost their baby. My baby was 33 years old, but it's always your baby who left you. To the moms who are going through something like this, Miss, talk to me. I'm Paula Solis 916. That day I didn't say it because I was afraid they would want people to believe something different that isn't true. Because I'm not interested in followers, I'm not interested in doing anything on TikTok, I'm not interested in any of that. But if there's any mom right now is going through what I went through, write to me. And I'll tell you everything I told you personally, whatever you need, because I needed it and I didn't have it.
The best thing you can do is to meet people who have gone through the same thing, so that to grow together and to help each other. Paula, I send you a big hug. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, and God bless you, Hector.
Same to you.
May God give you much light, and may God bless you.
Same to you.
And thank you, because that day the one who spoke was my daughter, and you were asking for confirmation and I couldn't give it to you, but I'm giving it to you now.
Thank you.
I'm sending a kiss to you and everyone listening. If someone feels really bad, maybe that's why I called and found you. Know that you are. Know that I had the signs and the television that turned on by itself twice, and it played for me, connected to the home network. Now it echoes. The sound was working perfectly, and now the sound doesn't echo anymore.
But also,
you can tell it was an energy.
Everything you're telling me, even though I haven't experienced it myself, I can confirm it because both times I spoke with you, the first time your daughter's voice manifested. And just now the dog was growling, it barked, and now it's quiet. It's amazing how they give us these signs. Your daughter is very close. And your job is to change the perspective from the feeling of loss to the feeling of constant presence. That's kind of the work.
I'm speaking to you from love. Right now I'm speaking to everyone. If there's anyone who's not doing well, like me, I know you feel dead inside. I'm speaking from a place of love, with no ego, nothing else. I don't want you to follow me. I don't want that. I don't want any of that. I don't want to have more followers on TikTok. That's not it. I'm speaking to you only from love. If you need, tell me what's going on with you and I, with a lot of calm, and without asking you to follow me or anything. I will tell you. How my daughter was with me and how her son is surely with her. Thank you, Hector.
Thank you. And the last thing I'll tell you is, in that exchange you're going to have, maybe it all begins with sharing your story and letting yourself be surprised by stories from moms who experienced the same thing. And maybe they can also give you tools to always as a team and together life is better, right? So even if it's for a painful reason, it's good to meet people, right? You'll see that good people will come into your life, Paula, sending you a big kiss.
I'm sending you another big kiss.
Bye. Well, you may have noticed that we're experiencing one of the most special shows already, and the year has just begun. Mothers of pain, so to speak, of spiritual pain, of the signs and of life. My God, this schedule gives us these amazing stories too, right? Today's show is intense. I'm heading to Cynthia. Are you there? Let's see. All right, let's see. We're coming, everyone. Everyone's excited, right? Tremendously excited.
Hello, Hector. Good evening. I'm Fernando. And well,
Hello, Fernando.
coincidences don't exist.
No.
I'm sending you this because I was listening to this person's testimony in the interview you did with him, so he could share his experience. And well, whenever you can, if you're interested, I'm going to tell you how they got there. To that place, these people. The name of... I'm just telling you, not guiding you. Later, if we have the chance to talk, I would like...
About extraterrestrial contact.
I've been passionate about this topic since I was a kid. Rodolfo Mota was a close friend of mine. He passed away some time ago. A long time ago. He lived across from me, and that's how it began. It's a long story to tell. It started back in the year around 1984, 1985. The first time this man, Rodolfo Mota, went to that place, sent by a special person, in quotes, he went with me, with the woman, with their daughter and a married couple friends. There were 5 or 6 of us. After that place, to this day, I still keep going. I've gone alone to spend time. I don't know, a New Year's Eve, alone at Easter. I've gone with my children, with friends. It's a special place, in quotes. So I'm going to send you a picture of that place now so you can draw your own conclusions. A picture I took randomly one day out of the many times I went. I took a photo of a bonfire and want you to see it, at what's in the picture. If you're interested, I can tell you the story in great detail about everything this person who is real is exposing. He was referring to Zulma Fayyad from the BD.
Yes, many of us recognized him.
There are a lot of people who have gone, whom I've seen too, right? There are other artists, people from the entertainment world, journalists. So, well, I gave you a summary. If you happen to be interested, you have my contact, my name. For those of us who are on this search, every piece of information is very important.
Thank you very much, Che. Obviously, we're going to interview you. I'm replying to the message right now. He's talking about the interview with Christian, the guy who made alien contact, the one I spoke to recently. I think I talked in one of the first shows of the year. I don't remember if it was in January or the last days of December, but we talked this week. There's more. What did they say? Hello, good.
Hello, Hector. This is Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth.
I always listen to you with my mom. Here we both are listening to the topic about ashes. And well, I wanted to tell you that we have Dad. but he's in a special place in the house. He's in a very big park with lots of flowers, lots of trees, lots of little animals in life. Nature, which was his wish. He was in a niche for 4 years, and then we cremated him and brought him home. And the beautiful thing about all this, sorry if I get a little nervous, the beautiful thing about all this is that Mom, she feels a presence in her bedroom, but it's a protective presence. What do I mean by this? That at night she feels that someone lies down next to her but hugs her the same way my dad used to hug her, like spooning, and touches her knee and, like, let's say he feels comfortable and he's not a threatening figure. I, on the other hand, I'll condense 2 stories for you because I feel a presence in a corner of my room, but only when I'm feeling really hopeless, really sick. Let me tell you that in 2019 I had a really, really bad flu. And I remember seeing him standing in a particular corner of my room. Something, I don't know if it's a demon, a dead spirit, a disembodied being, I don't know. I think it's the illness standing there.
Oh God.
Waiting for me to take me, because it's in a stalking position. From wherever you give up, I'll take you. But anyway, I'm glad that Mom feels protected by Dad, and within the paranormal, there is also the beauty of protection. I'm sending you a big kiss. I love you so much.
Me too. Hey, thanks for sharing your stories. All right, guys, send a request. Who else is live to talk with me? Let's see. Mige, I'm heading over to see if you're there. Let's see. Are you around? Well, Adrian, let's see if you're there. Hey, paranormal crew, we're on our way. Rolando, maybe. All right. Well, all right, I'll go then. How are you, Hector? I'm Veronica. I always follow you and I'm writing because I'm not sure if I'm sensitive or something. But since I was a kid, a lot of strange things happened to me. This story is the one that impacted me the most. I was 19 years old when my mom got sick. She knew she wasn't going to grow old. Instead of pretending to be strong, she began teaching me basics like cooking since I didn't know how. During those months, I was glued to her. I went with her everywhere. I slept on the stairs of the clinic. I was always tired, with my mind racing, but I didn't care. I just wanted him to be saved. Even though inside I felt like he was slowly saying goodbye. One night, before he passed away, I experienced something unforgettable. I was at home in my bedroom. Suddenly the door opened. I thought it was her, because she came in wearing a white nightgown, walking slowly, but when I looked up, I was frozen. It wasn't her like a normal person. It was her, but her body looked transparent. I could see through her. It wasn't a shadow. It wasn't a reflection. It was my mom, walking as if she was checking the house one last time. I was frozen, speechless. I saw her walk down the hallway, looking everywhere as if she was saying goodbye. I felt a horrible chill in my body. At one point, I snapped out of it, got up quickly, and went straight to her room. And my mom was there, sleeping. She was sleeping normally. She was breathing but hadn't moved. A week later, my mom passed away. Before she left, she went into a coma. She never woke up again. She was like that for a week. My siblings and I went to the clinic to say goodbye. When we got back home, something intense happened. The lamps in my mom's room exploded, not just one, all of them. It sounded like something had burst inside the room, and at that very moment outside, the sky turned a strange red. Right then, the clinic called to say he had just died. The following month was worse because that's when the dreams started. I call them dreams, but they weren't ordinary dreams. In those encounters, I was with my mom, sitting on a wooden bench in a quiet place with that distinct sunset color, a deep orange. I spoke to her knowing she was dead. I asked her, "How do I go on without you? What was I going to do with my life? If I ever got married? If I became a mother?" I was 20 years old, I was studying, I was working. I had a boyfriend and I felt alone. In one of those meetings, she told me something specific. That she had taken out a life insurance policy and that I had to find out more about it because no one else knew. I woke up crying. I was left with a real feeling as if I had really been with her. Sometimes I woke up smelling her perfume. And what impressed me the most? I remembered her facial skin just as when I used to caress it. And the thing about the insurance was real. Sometime later, we looked into it, and there really was a life insurance policy that my mom had taken out 4 months earlier. Nobody knew about it. The years went by. 15 years later, I got married and had 2 children. When my oldest daughter was 2, she began sitting down to play tea party with an invisible friend. And one day she told me the name just like it was nothing. Chuchi. Chuchi was what we used to call Mom. My daughter never met her. She never saw her, and yet she named her. As if someone had told her. As if she had been with her. Hector, I don't know if this is normal. If it's grief, if it's something spiritual, or if someone else has experienced something similar. But I swear, sometimes I feel like my mom didn't completely leave, or that she left, but found a way to come back and let me know things. Thank you for giving us this space. A big hug. I'm Veronica. And this story is real. Oh my God. What great stories, huh? I'm going live with Marcella. Let's see if she's there. What are you doing, Marcella? It's Hector. Can you talk?
Yes.
Turn down the volume. If you're listening to me, turn down the volume and listen to me only through the phone.
I'm turning it down now.
All right, I'll greet you again now. Let's talk to Marcella, who's live with us. Marcella, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening, Hector. How are you?
Welcome. We're listening. Please share your story.
Well, it's a story that a coworker told me last night. And honestly, it left me frozen. About a month and a half ago, he became a widower. And he told me, well, he has some ashes at home. He had the ashes. He currently has the ashes at home.
He had the ashes.
And she says she currently has the ashes at home. So what happens? She says that every night she can't sleep because she dreams about her. and she dreams and talks where she says that she asks her, please take her to the sea, to get her out and take her to the sea. So every day he comes in poorly rested, poor thing. Something always happens to him. Everything happens to him, Everything. He's had a lot of accidents. He feels bad. No, he's not hungry. The truth is, this poor man is going to disappear. And we say no, that he has to listen to him. That is not good, I think it's not good for him to have them there.
Of course, of course. He told you this just yesterday, and now we're discussing it today, see?
Yes, that's why I dared to talk to you.
Okay.
And another thing that happens to her is that she says when it happens to her all night long, every day. And she wakes up around 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and he keeps talking to her, still awake, because he listens to her. I don't know if it's true or not. He says he has a third eye, that it's open, that it happened to him all his life with all the people that he were dying. But with her, he can't control it.
Of course. Well, obviously, beyond the ashes, he's going to have to do something because he's experiencing a super strong attachment. You can tell by what you're saying, right?
Yes. Now, for example, the daughter was mentioned, of course. And the daughter, obviously it didn't catch her attention because it seems like it's something that comes from the whole family.
Family tradition, let's say.
Of course. Yes. So it didn't catch her attention, but she did say, if mom is telling you, please take me to the sea, take her, because it's already something you can't control.
Of course.
And it's true, everything happens to him. Really silly accidents happen to him. Suddenly the other day we have a pizzeria. He got his hand caught in the dough mixer. Another day he crashed the bus. He got hurt. He injured his whole hand. Then he also feels physically unwell. And besides, since he doesn't sleep well, he doesn't eat either. So,
that's why everything we talked about at the beginning, telling her to make a decision, to get her out of there, to scatter them somewhere.
Yes, what he told me is that, now he's going to ask for a few days off and he's going to go to, I don't know where. He said he'd be on vacation for a few days. He was invited and plans to take her with him to make the most of the opportunity.
Well, send him a hug from us, and I'm sending you a hug too.
Thank you so much. Sending a big kiss. I listen whenever I can.
Thank you so much. Big kiss. Bye-bye. What a topic today's ashes are. I was reading some comments on Instagram. I have Instagram, which is a Hector Locutorok. Follow me on Instagram and turn on the notifications, please. Hello, Hector. I have stories from religion class, as they say here. Caro, good evening. Hector, Lillian says, welcome. Well, welcome to Cordoba, present. Paula tells me, sometimes at home I feel a whiff of my dad's cologne and there's no one there. It's like he's right next to me or visiting me, says Paula B1986. Sometimes I smell cigarette smoke and there was no one smoking at home. But my dad, who passed away many years ago, did smoke, so for me it's him, says Jesse Arcos. Karen tells me, Hector, I just told my mom that we should bury my grandma's dog's ashes and she immediately said yes. So, thanks to you, they're going to have the funeral they deserve. Very good. Isn't it great the show is useful as well as entertaining? Welcome, Laura. Welcome to everyone who's following me on Instagram. Hector, today's show is very interesting. Thank you. The show is spectacular today, Hector. Hugs from Granada, Spain. Thank you, Gustavo. Who else is here? Tacho Fernandez, hello, greets me. Hector, I remember Paula's story, but especially how you handled the case. Your support and willingness to accompany her through the grieving process. Thank you, Elizabeth. I would treat others as I want to be treated in that situation. Hello, Hector. Good evening, says Annie. Hello, Annie. Hello, Monica. Elizabeth says, Paula's case was a case with many followers. Hector, well, thank you. Keep saying nice things about me. Greetings from La Roque, Entre Rios, says Annie. Hello, Ale Morgan. How are you, huh? Hello. Strength and hugs, says Just. She is an angel, Paula says. That case touched many people, huh? Hector, I also heard the door slam at the start of the call, but I think it was the dog. No, and you could already hear the dog growling. Those lights are a sign that energy is with you. It's the way it shows up on the days when you're most anxious. He means the disembodied, right? Well, it's a comfort for her. The animals pick up on her daughter's energy, the one she's mentioning now. Our loved ones who are on another plane always find a way to communicate with us. We are the ones who have to learn to see their signs. They never leave us alone, Nati says. Strength to all of you. Thank you from Cordoba, always listening to you, Pela Romero. Even on vacation, I don't stop, Pela, sending you a hug. We also send one to Paula, who I was talking to, and to Pela. Was there on the other side? Let's hug our children, says Pela Romero. Exactly. Paula, acceptance is difficult, but you have to work on that. Even if she sends signals to show you that she's present, you have to hug her really tight, eh? It's true, eh? It's tough, but you have to do it. I lost a son, and what you say is true, Hector. I've started smiling again and still feel connected to him. My beloved sister, I send her a big kiss, says Claudia. I'm not sure if Claudia is Paula's daughter's sister. I think she is. Because they're talking about her, right? Who else? Of course there are, Julieta says, a lot of strength for that mom. Well, a lot of people are sending good vibes to Paula. How important it is to give people space. Thank you, Pela, for your words. Who else is live? Lau says, my mom keeps it on the balcony and sometimes feels it visits her room for company. Pela, you have to come to the show now when you're in the city. Let me know. I'm not going to the provinces, but you'll be able to make it. You always write to me. You're invited. At the Piccadilly. All right, at the Piccadilly. Pela Romero, we're waiting for you at the Piccadilly. Who else is there? Jose is here. Hector, always with the radio on. Thank you. Gilio says, I have a story to share with you. Send me a private message and we'll call you. Or write to us on WhatsApp and we'll put you on the air. Or send us an audio message. Beautiful stories today. They say, don't you think the sea is becoming a cemetery? Yes, absolutely. The ashes return to the beach. What else is good? Wow, so many messages today. My daughter and I have a story like the one they just shared. They say, it's not good to have ashes at home. Greetings from Chascomús. Hello, Hector. Your show is always interesting. Kisses from Quilmes. I'll be there soon. These days, greetings to the people of San Juan in the Republic of Argentina. Thank you, to all of you. Thank you very much, Let's talk with more friends who have stories. 11 27 84 1073. 11 27 84 1073. You can email me at trasnocheparanormala@gmail.com. Trasnocheparanormal. gmail.com. You can send your paranormal stories to that email and I'll be happy to read them. We'll read them on air. Trasnocheparanormal@gmail.com. Are there more stories? Hello, good evening.
Hello, Hector. How are you?
Good.
My name is Fabiana. I'm going to tell you something because at 3 I heard you say that our relatives, our departed loved ones, communicate with us through dreams. About 8 years ago, in just a few days, my brother passed away. Well, Ale was a boy with a disability and I had taken care of him alone during the last part of his life. Because, well, you know how families can be sometimes? And well, from one day to the next, I remember it was December 25th, my birthday. I placed him in a home where they cared for kids so he could be looked after while I work. I brought him here with me for those holidays and he got sick. My sister never got sick. Aside from the problem he had, she never got sick. But well, that time she got sick and well, it was the last time she got really sick. I brought him here for the holidays, but he started feeling bad. He was always very happy when he came here. He was such a spark. And at one point he tells me that he missed my grandma. My grandma was the one who raised us since our mom died when we were young. And my grandma had passed away a few years before. But, you know, when my grandma passed away, he kind of took it like it was nothing. The only time he told me he missed her was that day. And well, he broke down like he couldn't breathe. Until he ended up hospitalized.
Sorry. Just a couple of seconds before he said he couldn't breathe, I heard an ah. Did you hear it? Huh? I'll rewind the audio.
We were very young and my grandmother had passed away a few years before. But, you know, when my grandmother passed away, he acted like it was nothing. The only time he told me he missed her was that day. And well, he broke down like he couldn't breathe.
Hey!
until, well, he falls.
That's quite a cacophony, huh?
He ended up in intensive care. He had a pretty serious respiratory problem. And well, I already knew that, well, there was nothing that could be done. He was 36 years old at that time. I knew there was nothing that could be done, so, well, he was in intensive care for 12 days. Those 12 days were very traumatic for me. It was terrible, like hell itself. And well, this is what I was telling you. I already knew, I imagined it, I saw it coming. But well, you're never really prepared for these things. Anyway, I'll make it quick for you. Time goes by. 12 days he passes away, and I was left with a very strange feeling when he left. Because when my grandmother passed away, I felt like she was somewhere. She was with me. I felt her close. I could smell her perfume. But when he left, when he passed away, I didn't feel anything. I felt an enormous emptiness, enormous. And all the time I just wanted to know where he was, how he was.
Oh, what happened now? It got cut off. Well, another sign. The audio cut out. It was like the audio got interrupted. Huh? You heard it, right? What a day full of signs. You can tell they called her right then. And her audio got cut off. She couldn't continue with the audio. Let me try resending it. Hold on. Wow, it was getting so interesting. She killed another audio. Oh my God.
What was happening? So a few days later, I'm not sure if I returned to my house 1 or 2 days after his passing. I was at the hospital the entire time. I spent many days there since he was admitted. During all that time, I barely slept and I had a lot of sleep paralysis. So since I had sleep paralysis, I didn't sleep because I was scared. I don't know, maybe I can handle that. One hot January afternoon, I lay down and turned on the air conditioner to try to sleep, and I fall asleep. Then I dreamed that I was in what seemed like a train station. There was a kind of tunnel. Supposedly, I thought a train was going to come through there, and I look. And it was my grandmother bringing him. I thought she was bringing him to me. So when I see that in the dream, I get happy. I'm going to grab him since she was bringing him to me, but she pulls me away. Like she pushes me so that I don't grab him. It's like I don't want that. So like I try to grab it and she starts like pushing me, trying to get me out. The guy grabs it. The guy was laughing. My brother was smiling. And of course, that's when the moment in the dream comes where I get anxious because she wouldn't let me reach it. And I wake up. I have sleep paralysis. I couldn't wake my body up. And it was shocking for me. My dream for me was a nightmare. Later I understood that it wasn't a nightmare, that it probably was. They were leaving together. Of course, I don't know, that's what I think. And it's this strange feeling that I end up with his departure, like he's nowhere to be found. And I had that dream, and it's what you were telling us, that they communicate through dreams. So, well, he probably left with her because they adored each other. They both loved each other. And I loved them and they loved me. So, well, that was what I wanted to tell you. I send you a big kiss and I really like your show. You're a genius. Kisses.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for your lovely message and for your impactful story as well, right? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Pergolini's son is here in the chat. Is it true that Pergolini's son is following this show? Are you Mario's son? Did you take his name or is it just a coincidence? Let us know. Tell us, okay? We want to know. Well, you can write to us there. I think Alejandro is live. Alejandro, how are you? Good evening.
Hello, good evening, Alejandro Gui. Well, I have a small issue.
Yes.
In the place where I live, before we came to build, it was a completely rural neighborhood, countryside. And it's paranormal in the sense that I was around 11, 12 years old, and well, I was with my younger sister. I told her, let's go to the field since we had a big one in front. And the Panamericana Highway passed by. The Panamericana Highway. So I told him because we saw it on television, and well, those things that happened back then, those about, paranormal things like aliens, UFOs, all those topics. But it's really strange because we were very young. She and I were 3 years apart. The thing is, I told her, let's go, and we went all the way to the edge. Because there was a wire fence, I told her, let's go, and if nothing happens, we'll come back. It was a cloudy winter day, like a kind of gloomy sunset. It was cold. And, well, at a moment when no one was watching us, we left and went to see what would happen. I don't know. I had the feeling that something was going to happen. And suddenly, crossing the Panamericana, it's not much more than a block wide. And on the other side, there are only companies, logistics companies, and back then, I had a rough idea of what it was like, what the area was like. And the strange thing was that suddenly we started hearing a helicopter, but very close, very close. And to our surprise, and especially mine, I saw that literally from behind the facade of the building, a completely black helicopter came out. And not only that, but it didn't go up very high. I can't remember it exactly, but it's almost like it was coming in our direction, and I started to run, and with my sister. But it was really strange because, let's say, nowadays I've never seen anything like that again. Here in the area, you don't hear any helicopters or anything at all. So it always left me wondering what could have happened in that place. Why a helicopter?
Like they hid something, you mean?
I don't know. Really, it's like related because we were kind of influenced by the whole thing about flying objects. And well, that situation was difficult. It was like a huge rush of adrenaline. But well, that's a small detail. And then there's another situation. We were here at my house, and back then, well, we were struggling, and we had a door with a. It was like an internal lock that couldn't be opened from outside. And we were making fried cakes just to say something. And we started to play, saying like, okay, let's make faces, and we made faces. And suddenly me, since I have a certain artistic streak, back then I said, well, I'm going to make the face of a unidentified flying object, the face of an alien. And that alien turned out pretty well. Pretty scary. And the power goes out. And suddenly we all heard the latch being slid, the internal one, which couldn't be done unless someone did it. And we were in the dim light looking at each other. It was my dad, me, my sister, and a friend. And when we saw it move and heard like a thunderclap, at that moment we all ran off, each one in a different direction. I locked myself in the bathroom while they yelled, let me in. But I refused, repeating, no, I don't want to. But well, that was really strange. Let's say in this area, I'm surrounded by cemeteries, but more than anything at that time, there were, let's say, certain paranormal things. I also remember back then that I was, well, with some relatives and sleeping in a gallery of the house. And suddenly I wake up at night because I hear the sound of papers. I think it's a kitten, one of the cats, or maybe a dog or something like that in the house. And well, I look over to where the noise is coming from, and I see a human figure sitting there, sitting on the edge of the couch we had, and they were going through the papers, like looking for something. And I didn't say anything. I couldn't even breathe. I covered myself completely. I was little, under 14. And I said, no, this isn't true. I want to sleep. But there were a lot of strange things happening back then, and let's say the last one. It's like I believe it even more because there was an energy at play. Maybe a somewhat negative energy within the family. But the very last thing I want to share is one that left me with something positive. Because the thing is, I had already fought with almost my entire family back in high school. So then I say, well, I was coming from a long day of studying at technical school. Above all, I was especially fighting with my sister. And when I get there, I knock, it's all dark, there was no one was there. I say, I forgot my keys, there was no one. I'll have to wait for my sister to open the door for me. The thing is, I knocked and no one answered. Well, I said, I'll wait. Soon after, I heard the lock open from inside. So I said, well, at least I'm safe for the night. In winter, while I was in high school, I went in, and when I entered, there was no one there. And when I look down the hallway that led into the house, I see the clothes moving, the clothes are moving. And I say, okay, I say my sister, I say, hey, you're not even saying hi now, I say to her. And she doesn't answer me at all. That's it. It doesn't change anymore. And when I look like that, they turn on the light in the back room. And my mom peeks out and says to me, Ale? She says, yes. I say, what? Who let you in? And I tell her, Rocio just let me in and left. She didn't say hi to me, but she says, Rocio isn't home, I'm alone. And I told her. But at that moment, it was strange because I didn't feel scared. When I felt like someone was waiting for me, but no, I don't know who.
It didn't necessarily have to be a negative entity, no. Thank you, man, for your stories. A big hug. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you too. 1127841073. Not everything paranormal is terrifying. Remember that. All right, guys. I'll be back here at 2 in the morning. Thanks for joining us. Thank you. Remember that the streaming goes from 7 to 9. Guys, I'll leave this streaming up for those who just arrived. Go to the YouTube channel, go to live, and in that tab I leave this live stream open to the public so those who just arrived can watch it, and the show is already on air on La Pop. If you want more paranormal stories, Paranormal Night is on La Pop from 9 to 12. I'm heading to channel 26. See you in a bit on television for those who turn on the television at 11 at night. 11 at night, now in less than 2 hours, I'll be on channel 26. And at 2 in the morning, I'll be back to stream for another hour. Love you all. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the streams. Bye.